Okay, serious time.
Okay.
This is a serious podcast / video. It's time to start. Stop messing around. Good morning, everybody. It's Jesse Ziegler.
And Quinn Cody.
And we're here at Cycle News' established studio empire in the heart of the Inland Empire of California. That's an empire inside of an empire. And we are out here just dominating Dakar Rally coverage for you at Dakar Rally Daily. Brought to you by Climb Technical Riding Gear. Supported by Husqvarna today.
Yes.
Husky's our OEM sponsor today. Excited to see how they do at Supercross this weekend.
Yeah. Should be good.
Bounce back for RJ Hampshire after that mutter.
Maybe it'll be dry. Actually, there looked like there was some rain in the forecast.
I know. We might have
Diego,
another roll-off scenario out there.
Yep.
Get these guys a little Dakar feeling of, adversity for more than a half hour of their life.
Right.
Get them out there for a couple hours at a Supercross race.
Start the year off with a couple mutters.
Thanks, Husqvarna, for coming on board. Thank you very much, Rally Navigator, for showing us what the heck these guys are looking at all day. French abbreviations and all.
Yes, that's right.
If you missed our Chat GPT section today, we asked Chat GPT why all the abbreviations are in French still. And it has a great answer.
Yes, it does.
Giant Loop Moto, Fast Company, handlebars, foot pegs, spoke wrenches. Those guys are great. Giant Loop, get your bags. Put all your stuff in it. Go camping on your bike. It's fun. We did it once.
Yeah.
And we haven't had time to do it again.
No, it's not a lot of time for motorcycle camping these days.
Your boys at Moto Minded, thank you for supporting our chainslayer.com/Dakar Fantasy League. It's getting tight for that gas e-bicycle Moto 1. You're going to want to check that out. That's a grand prize. Yes. JimmyLewisOffroad.com. I had a direct message from Jimmy Lewis last night.
Uh-oh.
Very serious message. He said, instead of teasing me all the time on the show, maybe you could promote my February class schedule. So my job today is to say, go to JimmyLewisOffroad.com, sign up for the newsletter, get signed up for his February class schedule, one of his training classes. And if you mention Dakar Rally Daily, you get a special surprise.
Oh, I can't imagine what that surprise is going to be.
Nobody knows what it is. Jimmy doesn't know yet. Maybe he does.
Yeah, so somebody out there listening really needs to go to sign up for a class in February with Jimmy Lewis. And
Please
so that
do.
You can let us know what the surprise is.
We're curious.
Yes.
So go check him out, please, so we can find out what this special surprise is at JimmyLewisOffroad.com. Also, Taco Moto down there in Vegas. Thank you for supporting us. And Peak Design, Quinn's all set up with his case, and he's just been walking around the office showing it off to everybody. Good job.
I already lost my tripod, but I still got the case.
It's on your desk, I'm sure.
It is. It is in my desk at work.
Well, stage 11 finished up today at the Dakar Rally, and we have some interesting results and some very, very powerful performances across the board. And it's exciting to talk about. We also have some very exclusive video chats with people coming up on this show and audio chats for you listening on the podcast.
Yes, we do.
And we have some insight into a privateer racer that's very entertaining and, comedic, I would say.
Yep.
Entertaining.
I would say so. Let's, shall we get into the top 10?
Yeah, we should. Top 10, Ross Branch got the stage win today after a very, very good ride through rocky, terrible terrain, starting in 7th place. So he did have tracks in front of him that certainly helped him out along the way, but still not an easy race to get up there to try to get back some of that time he lost yesterday on Ricky Brabec.
Yeah. I mean, awesome ride for Ross. He was kind of set up in the position where he could ride from the back, make some time on Ricky Brabec, hopefully. And Ricky started first and had to lead out the entire stage after winning yesterday.
Yeah, Ricky didn't make it easy on Ross today because he basically just ran away from everybody all day, checked out, said, peace out, this is my race, I'm taking control, I'm getting all this bonus time. Ricky got second on the day, adjusted time 30 seconds back, so he put 5:45 of bonus time on his clock too.
Yeah.
From leading the course, so Ricky rode an amazing race today.
That's an incredible ride for Ricky. I mean, he led the entire day, collected every second of possible bonus time. So he did exactly what he needed to do. He couldn't have done more, really.
Nope. It's perfect. He rode a perfect race today. Behind him, a lot of stuff unfolded, including Adrien Van Beveren battling, crashing, getting through these rocks as fast as he could, but still struggling through that rocky terrain. He finished 3:17 back behind Branch on the stage, but Honda performing really well. Again, 2 Hondas in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that these guys are operating on a different level this year, and we knew going into the race that the KTM brands were gonna have a tough time with all their injuries and kind of
Strength of the
short
team.
bits of time to prepare and whatnot. But this is really showing the Honda. I mean, the Honda guys have dominated.
Definitely dominating performance. Behind Adrien Van Beveren, Luciano Benavides was 4:38 back on the day behind Ross Branch in 4th place. Toby Price right behind him, 6:31 off the pace today in 5th place. Then we had Brad Cox, another Rally 2 guy, cracking into that almost top 5. Bradley Cox was 8:05 back on the day. A really strong ride by Brad. So Brad Cox, good ride, Rally 2 guy. More Rally 2 to talk about later because that race has gotten crazy good. Kevin Benavides right behind him, 10 minutes back, so 10-minute gap to 7th place today on the stage. Daniel Sanders, 12:23 behind Ross Branch today. Mishek in 9th place, 14:27 back. And then Stefan Svitko, 15:47. You're going to notice some names not in there, like we always do. Mostly the 2 Honda guys, Quintanilla and Nacho Cornejo. What happened to them today?
Not sure about Quintanilla. I don't know exactly, but we do know that Nacho had a fuel pump failure.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he lost his fuel pump in the front tank. And so he had to actually remove the front tank and pour his fuel into the rear tank.
What a pain in the ass.
Yeah, pain in the ass, and very, very stressful for the Honda team.
Right.
Because, I mean, if they have fuel pumps failing with a day to go.
Imagine what they're thinking in their head. Like, replace all fuel pumps.
Ricky Brabec leading this race overall. So I imagine there'll be some fresh fuel pumps going into those Hondas.
Maybe another plan of attack in case this happens.
It's stressful because, you have a working system, right? Do you mess with it? Do you over prepare something?
Yeah. Let's just leave it alone. It's working.
Sometimes too much maintenance can be an issue too. So
that's very true. Yeah,
for sure. I think Ricky's bike is going to be run through top to bottom tonight, and
his mechanic is just going to stay up and stare at it all night, just trying to will it to like everything be fine.
Yep.
Remember we talked to Kendall. Kendall was Ricky's mechanic in 2020 when he won.
Yeah, that's right.
And it sounds like it was a pretty stressful moment. It was those last few days.
A bit of a high pressure situation for Kendall, and I think he was not enjoying the stress of that.
He didn't go back to be a mechanic again. He went back and drove a motorhome. He's like, this is way better.
Yeah, cooking dinner for the guys.
I'll cook dinner and drive a motorhome, but I am not going to be a mechanic anymore.
Yep.
Let's hear from stage winner Ross Branch today first, because he won the stage. He deserves the credit. Great ride by Ross.
Yes, sir.
Ross Branch, maybe not enough today, but how was your stage?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it from start to finish. Really rocky, some sketchy places, but all in all, it was a great ride, and I enjoyed the whole stage. I didn't make any navigation mistakes today, so I'm proud. No matter the outcome, I'm really happy with how I went today.
I heard you talking about the camel grass. Maybe something you need to work on. Is that a bike thing or a you thing or a bit of both?
I think it's a me thing, I think it's just a mental block for me. I've had some big crashes in the camel grass from the time I started Dakar, and I've just got to get over it. I've got to have a cup of cement and build a bridge and get over it. But there's definitely some stuff I need to work on, and got another 11 months to go and get those things better and just work on a few small issues that I have, and then hopefully next year will be better.
Still one more stage to go. I mean, anything can happen, but you got through clean and you're feeling good, and like always, man, you're smiling. You have a huge fan club out there that love your Stoke, so
thank you guys. That's it. What more can you ask for? You're out on your motorcycle having some amazing fun in all these beautiful places, and riding with some mates, and I'm just having a good time, and really happy and proud and privileged to be here, so enjoying it while I can, and obviously a win is a big bonus, so giving it my all for that too.
You didn't have any of your own team behind, but did any of the KTM boys put their hand up to maybe chip in and help if possible?
Yeah, you know, today I found out there's some friends in the sport and there's some not so good friends in the sport, and the friends really let me by and encouraged me to go faster, and the guys that weren't in the race really moved over and let us race the race. And then there's the other guys, but it is what it is. You know, it's good to know that now, and we'll see what happens this next year. It's going to be an interesting one.
Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao.
I think that's the maddest I've ever seen Ross Branch in the history of Ross Branch.
Yeah.
That's a pissed off Ross Branch, right? Isn't that, that's like as mad as he gets on camera or
on camera,
on audio.
at least. Yeah. Yeah. What an amazing guy. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think what he was kind of alluding to there is that it was a dusty, rocky stage, and Ross was coming from the back. And of course, you know, he's got to pass people, right? And some of the guys are maybe a little bit off the pace. They're just trying to mail it in, get it to the finish line, but it's still not easy. You got to take risks to pass guys. And
Yeah.
so if people aren't moving over and getting out of your way, it's frustrating, and especially if they're not in the race for the overall.
Yeah.
Right?
He's trying to put every second he can into Ricky at this point, and these people are just maybe not intentionally, but maybe not getting out of the way because they're racing too.
They're racing too. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I mean, some people just maybe are just not thinking about it, just doing their thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, they come into the refuelings together. You know, they know he's right behind him. You leave out of the refueling right in front of him.
Seconds in front of him.
And yeah, if you're not backing off and letting the guy who's battling for the overall, either you got a friend up front or
you just don't care.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, I mean, we won't really say who it was, but
we don't know for sure.
We know pretty certainly from looking at the tracking that it wasn't one of the Hondas.
It doesn't seem to be a Honda because he wasn't around any Hondas.
No.
Nacho, he passed Nacho in the dry lake bed.
Nacho was
at a
broke down standstill when he passed him,
and he never caught Adrien.
Yep.
So unless Quintanilla blocked the trail sideways with his bike and wouldn't let him by in a canyon or something, but it doesn't seem to be that way.
No.
So all speculation at this point, but you've been on a trail ride before. Even there's like a trail ride with people, and there's just always that one guy that shouldn't be in front of you, but he is. And you're like, dude, I'm just eating your dust for no reason. Just move over.
Oh yeah.
Or go faster so I don't have to be behind you. Take your pick. Get out of my way or get behind me. And how frustrating would that be if you have to spend 4 hours on a race course with that guy when you're battling for the win of the biggest race in the world?
Yeah, it's really frustrating when you're racing and you know you have the pace. That's the hard thing, is when you're backing off the throttle and slowing down because a guy's
you're thinking those seconds are going away.
You out.
And that's Ross Branch pissed off, which I'm glad we finally saw him almost not smile. He almost not smiles when he's mad. Thanks, Ross, for that. We appreciate you taking your time to talk to our man Anthony on the ground on all these days, even on tough days like today.
Yep. And I think on the other side of that, we've got our winner, buddy Ricky Brabec, second on the stage.
Second on the stage, looking great for overall. Tomorrow's stage isn't short, but here's Ricky after the day today. Let's see where he's feeling.
Ricky Brabec, you just put in a champion stage, I think. It's still one more day to go, but you earned it. How you feeling?
Yeah, I would say this is definitely my best stage of the rally. 420 kilometers open solo, a lot of rocks, and I made no mistakes. The last 100 Ks, I tried going pretty slow, just to kind of set back the time so I could not be first tomorrow. But I mean, I just cruised and rode mistake-free, and I think, the others were pushing and made a mistake, crashed. So I got one stage left to go. I've had a fun time here. So let's see what tomorrow brings. Let's wrap this thing up and let's have some fun and go home.
You kind of mentioned it's a pressure cooker, but once you get the helmet on, I mean, you're riding so well. Are you just kind of in the flow and having fun, or you're feeling pressure?
Today there was pressure because Ross started so far behind me and he had a big margin that he could make up. But I'm telling everyone, dude, this is the most stressful race I've ever done in my whole entire life. Just because, I mean, if you guys have been watching or listening to the show, there's 2 days we were 1 second apart, or 2 minutes apart or 7 minutes apart, and I mean, that's still a little bit close for comfort. You know, if you can maintain a 10-minute lead, then that's a little bit more comfort. If you can have a 10-minute lead and then have the guy, you know, fighting for you or fighting with you, close to you each day, that makes things a lot easier. But when you have a 10-minute lead and then your guy that's in second starts 18 minutes behind you and he can make up 18 minutes on you, this is where it's tough. But I'm happy, like I said, today to get to the finish line and see him not here yet.
Well, I mean, even just as we talk to you, you're shifting from stoic to stoked. So
yeah, we got one more day, so we'll see.
Nice work. Congrats on the stage.
Thank you.
A lot of good work out there today on that stage from Ricky.
Yeah.
Good insight into the mentally breakdown of the whole race for him this year so far.
Yeah, awesome stage for him, and I mean, what good execution of a rally stage, really, when you think about it. I mean, he absolutely just crushed this stage, led from start to finish,
with a lot of
backed
pressure.
off the last 100 Ks, you know, to make sure that he didn't win tomorrow,
which was key.
So really, I mean, he couldn't have executed this better. He only lost 32 seconds to Ross Branch in the general.
Yeah.
Finished second. So he has his main rival starting in front of him tomorrow, who has to lead out the stage.
And somehow gain time.
He's got 175 kilometers, which is just over 100 miles to ride.
To make up 10 minutes, which is really hard to do.
From the front.
Without any mistakes.
Yeah, and Ricky, I mean, God, he's just riding so good. And I mean,
you've seen the footage and the reels we've shared on social media. He looks like a different rider. He looks untouchable.
And his experience now, being able to lead out the stage, open the track, know where he is on stage, and, you know roughly where the rest of the pace of the rest of the guys are going, and being able to just monitor his pace and kind of control. Yeah. Is pretty actually extremely impressive. I haven't seen a guy do this in rally for a long time.
Yeah, he's putting a masterclass out there.
Yep.
Very cool. People that are struggling a little bit, I mean, everybody else is struggling compared to Ricky Brabec in a sense. But let's hear from Toby Price. We got a Toby Price chat at the end of the stage today. Try to see where his head's at after so many days of struggle at this rally, really.
11's done, so one more stage to go. Short one tomorrow, which is, nice feeling. We had a nice little sleep in this morning, and then short liaison, which was like 6 kilometres. A lot of stones, a lot of rocks and that today. About 25 k's in, I just I brushed on a bush and got a mad big thorn in my arm. So until a refuel at like 167, it was a bit of a mission. But after that, it was just all more stones, and we just try to get through in one piece. And main goal is leave this race healthy. The result's not so great, but it is what it is, and we've got some homework to do, and we look forward to seeing that checkered flag tomorrow.
Homework.
Yeah.
Toby's coming to the twilight of his career, though. Do you think he'll be back for another Dakar Rally?
I feel like Toby's going to ride as long as they
give him a bike to ride.
I think Toby's going to keep riding.
Mm-hmm.
If he knocks off another one, he might consider ending it on a high note. But
got you.
These guys, they're competitors, and they don't want to just leave with a 6th place or something, right?
Yeah,
they want to come back, and
he wants to win on. He wants to go out on the top. We don't have anything from Adrien Van Beveren yet, but noted he's in a tight battle for the overall podium. But we do have Nacho, and Nacho had a trouble issue today. We want to hear about that. See if we can get some insight from him on his fuel pump issue. So here's Nacho.
Bummer for today. Some mechanical issues. What happened?
Yeah, we were right there in the fight for the podium and had some fuel pump issues with the front tank. Had to run out of fuel with the rear one and had to stop to see what was the issue. I still don't know, but I took the decision to take one tank out, pass gasoline to the rear one, and go to the first refueling. I lost a lot of time, and then from refueling to refueling, because we had 2, I was pretty tight to arrive just with the rear tank, so I had to manage the speed a little bit, slow down to make it. I arrived with the smell of the fuel to the second refueling, and luckily didn't have to stop again. But yeah, bummer. We're out of the podium fight, and yeah, we'll just bring the bike to the finish tomorrow.
Wow, you've run an amazing race. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you. It's hard. We had high goals, and it's a little sad, but it's just racing, so we have to deal with it.
Wow, you're very gracious. Good luck to the end.
Bummer for Nacho to get knocked out of the podium contention like that with the mechanical.
Yeah, that's a big bummer, and he's done such a good job this year, leading out a bunch of stages and really supporting Ricky in a way. I think that Ricky probably couldn't have done what he's done without Nacho there to kind of key
having
off
such a strong teammate. And roommate.
Yep, and sharing the motorhome, of course.
Right. Here's how the overall shaking out since we're talking about it. Ricky's got, a 10-22 lead over Ross Branch right now, second place. And then Adrien Van Beveren's 14-31 behind Ricky in third place. This puts him, basically 4 minutes behind Ross for that second spot, which he will be fighting for tomorrow for sure, as much as he can. There's Nacho right behind him in fourth place, 38-44 now. So went from contention to being, just probably too far out to get back on that podium for Nacho.
Right. And so, there is potential tomorrow for a Honda 1-2. And,
definitely.
Adrien, I think he's gonna come out swinging, trying to bump Ross off of that second, because Ross is going to lead out, and Adrian's coming from third. So he's got, 6 minutes, basically 6 minute gap that he can technically close if Ross has one small little navigation mistake. Who knows?
That's all it's going to take. It'll be exciting to watch. And Ricky's got to get through there clean as well.
Yeah.
Without any issues.
They all have to get through there clean, right?
Yeah.
What if Ricky loses a fuel pump, right?
Yeah. He has a little Nacho.
Luckily it's a short enough stage. I think they could do 175 kilometers on
a short
tank, but
pretty stressful for Nacho out there, just hoping that his bike has enough gas to get to the next refueling. And then, I don't know how much I have left.
He came in on fumes.
Let's hear
on smell.
Or on smell. Yeah. The smell of fumes. Let's hear from Daniel Sanders right now. We got a quote from him after the end of the stage, and it's kind of good insight to see where the Gas crew is kind of sitting mentally and what their struggles have been for this race.
Daniel, your rally's nearly over. Looking forward to the end of it?
Absolutely. Can't wait.
How's the body?
Yeah, body's all right. It's just surviving and just getting through, trying to get through it in one piece. So that's the goal. Unfortunately, we're way out of reach for the podium. So yeah, we're just trying to enjoy it as much as we can, and just get through in one piece.
Sounds like you were courteous to Ross there, letting him through. You got a personal favorite?
Yeah, I knew he was coming during the day, and he was fighting for the win and the podium. So I don't want to be that guy. I expect the same if I'm in that position. If you're being caught by 6 minutes, and obviously the guy behind's faster, so you let him go and let him fight for the win and the podium. So no, that's just how it goes in rally. If I was in contention for it, I wouldn't have. It's just how it goes. We're all mates out here, so help each other out when we can, and it always helps off. I'm sure one day I'll need it back.
Right on. Any words for Matthias back home?
I might speak to him every day, so he knows what he needs. He's enjoying life, even though he's on the bed in the hospital for 7 weeks. But yeah, he's going good, and keeping him updated with everything, and he's surviving. He's good.
You've done him proud, even if you're in the pain cave. So nice work.
Yeah. He's going good.
He's in the pain cave.
Yeah.
Get more insight into the Ross Branch passing people a little bit. Clearly, Daniel let him by and knew, hey, this guy started 6 minutes behind me. He's faster than I am. He's in contention for the win. Courteous thing to do is to let him go.
Yeah.
Or not hold him up. He's not letting people go. But.
For sure, any experienced guy who's out of the fight, and it'd be like getting lapped at a Supercross race and having you know,
throwing your arms out,
trying
to block people,
or whatnot. So yeah, I mean, Ross had made up a lot of time on him, so Daniel was courteous and pulled over, but maybe not everyone had the same wherewithal to do that. So
see if we can get more info on that. I like the dirt. Give me the dirt, Quinn. No.
You know, Sanders has been struggling. You know, he came into this race, I would say, underprepared, and his femur was still
just
in the healing process, and
totally brutal.
You know, so he's a soldier, man. He's battled through this thing, and you know, it's, I would say, a pretty good, solid overall finish in the end.
Yeah, right now, Toby's sitting in 6th. I think we stopped on him overall, right behind Kevin Benavides. These guys are 42, 47 minutes out of the overall lead. Daniel Sanders is right behind Luciano. So Daniel's sitting in 8th place overall. He's an hour 12 off pace. Then Stefan Svitko in 9th, 1:54, almost 2 hours. And then Mishek in 10th. He is 2:43 out. So almost 3 hours separating the top 10.
Yeah.
Big separation out of those top 3 for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. This is a bit of a different rally this year. You know, it's interesting since we've moved to Saudi and seen the race evolve the way it was when it first arrived to the way it is now is quite a bit different. You know, we would see those 15, 20-minute swings
every day
in the beginning. And now with this bonus time and everything else, it's really tightened the race up and given the guys the ability to lead out stages and still have the opportunity to win the race.
Which sounds like it's just creating a lot more stress for the racers. Ricky is stressed out because the racing's so tight.
Yeah.
But it makes it fun to watch.
It does.
Fun to watch and talk about. Speaking of tight races, Rally 2 got pretty tight today.
Yes, it did.
Bradley Cox got the stage win today. I think it's his second in class for the year. I'd have to check that, but it's something like that. It's pretty close to his second stage win. He got 6th overall on the stage. Finished right in front of Harith Noah, who we talked to yesterday on the show. He was actually a pretty big gap, 8 minutes on him today. So Bradley really threw down on the stage. And Mathieu Devese. And the big story is you got to scroll down to 5th place to see Romain Dumontier. So Romain had an issue today.
Yep.
For sure.
What did he have, a crash or mechanical or something? I read through the news and I think it was,
he crashed.
It was a crash, and so he lost 18 minutes, which puts him now in
second
in the general. He's 5 minutes behind Harith Noah.
Yeah, Harith did a little leapfrog on him.
He's
not paying attention to his results. He's leading the class. He's gonna have to start paying attention to results soon.
He might have to pay attention.
Those days are over.
I mean, what if he was only 3 seconds ahead and he didn't know? Right? Like he's
5:53 ahead. Bradley Cox is 6:28. So really only a minute or so separating second and third there too. Another tight race between that second spot.
Right. Bradley has the opportunity to maybe even pass up Romain, depending on, his condition. He could be beat up and sore and, so.
Very cool to see that, Rally 2 division get hyper competitive as well.
Yeah. And it's cool. It is like when we talked to Romain about it, explaining what the Rally 2 is. And it's really, these are the guys that are funding it themselves or, through private sponsors. They're the non-factory guys. The bikes are basically, the same. They're 450 rally bikes, but
it's not that factory level of multi-million-dollar support there.
Exactly. They don't have the factory engine, possibly.
Their suspension's not rebuilt every day, and
they're not
in a custom suspension shop that's traveling with the team.
And they're not getting paid.
And they're also not getting paid, which is the key point.
They're paying to race.
So, the integrity of the Rally 2 class needs to stay that way, I think. It has to have some separation of support limit to be eligible, but also bumping these guys out, like they were mentioning, seems really unfair. Like really, really brutal.
Right. Yeah.
What are you going to do? Do the same budget, pay your own way, and compete against Toby Price and Ricky Brabec?
Yeah, I think you get bumped out kind of when you get on a factory team, or when you finish. I don't know what the criteria is, but I know Mason moved up from Rally 2 to GP.
That's probably his idea.
Yeah, he wanted to do that.
He's like, I don't want to be in Rally 2 at all. I just want to be race with the big guys.
Straight in
there. Not a lot changing up in the original by Motul or Malimoto class. Tobias Ebster is just dominating. He's still got about a 2 hour lead over Jerome Martini from Belgium. And then Albert Martin Garcia taking the third spot right now.
Yeah, he's almost 6 hours behind Hipster.
Big discrepancy in time here.
But I think, Tobias actually had an issue on stage today. He didn't just cruise right through. He had to stop a couple times, and I think he was messing with his road book and doing some maintenance on the bike.
Lost some time in the general, but luckily he has a 2-hour window.
Yeah, I think he could stop and do whatever he needs to do.
Kyle McCoy finished again, looks like.
Yeah,
10th place,
Kyle.
holding that 10th place down. He's 20 hours behind the leaders, but he's been on his bike racing for 75 hours. He'll be on that thing pushing 80 hours of race time by the end of this race.
Yeah.
Which is a beat down.
Gnarly. Kyle's
beat down.
Kyle's stage was 7.5 hours today.
Wow.
That he was on the bike. So that's, right to the end, man.
That's not easy
and
for anybody.
As we speak, there's still guys out there riding.
Yeah. And we got a little sneak peek of the struggle. We don't get a lot of live coverage of the people that are racing, like I would call normal people, like people that you would know racing, not people like, Toby Price and Ricky Brabec and these people. It's like normal people, like that just work their ass off to get there.
Yeah.
and they're really good riders still. But we got some insight. We posted it on our social media this morning. It's a reel of a racer stuck in the rocks, and a car co-driver jumps out of his car, jumps on his bike, and takes off. And we're like, this is amazing. Like, this guy
rides his bike
so
up
beat down
this rocky, nasty hill for him
that a car co-driver gets out and has to ride his bike up because this guy's beat down, like for sure. We didn't know who it was. We didn't know anything about it. But our guy, Ashley Presents, the YouTube Dakar official voiceover highlight guy, tracks him down, and it's a great story.
Yeah.
We get this guy. So we have his story straight from Ashley.
Gets all the information for us. So
here's our story from Ashley and the little highlight reel, if you're watching on TV, of Oran O'Kelly just battling his way through this section.
Hey guys, hey everyone who listens to the Dakar Rally Daily. What a rally raid we've had. Oh my goodness. I've had a great chat with Ricky Brabec today, who is on course to take a second title. But I wanted to tell you about another guy, a rookie, riding his first ever Dakar, Oran O'Kelly from Vendetta Racing. He's an Irish guy, and today in the Canyon of Death, which was rocky as anything, absolutely unbelievable if you see the pictures of it. He just couldn't get out. There were too many rocks, too much grit, too many pebbles. It was just too gnarly, and there was no way he could get out. He literally couldn't pick up his bike. He's so tired. And what happened was Mathieu Serradori and Loïc Monaudier, who are chasing 5th in the Cars Championship, they arrived behind him, and Oran was blocking their way. Both those car drivers have ridden 8 Dakars on bikes between them, and so Minaudier jumped out of the car even though they were chasing, picked up Oran's bike and rode it out of trouble himself, got him out of trouble, and then ran back to his car and jumped in, and they drove away. Oran had about, 100, 150 meters to walk back to his bike, and you could tell he could literally hardly lift his feet up. I've just been to get an interview with him for the podcast for you guys exclusively tonight, but it is 6 o'clock here. The top guys came in at 1 p.m. and his manager told me he's not going to finish the special for about another hour. That is literally 6 hours on the track, out on the road, out in the on the terrain. 6 hours longer than the top guys when they came in. It's an unbelievable story. His manager told me he is dead on his feet. His whole body is black and blue. This kid is having a really, really tough time, but if he makes it in here tonight, he will have achieved what so few people manage, and that is to finish the Dakar Rally. An unbelievable achievement, but an incredible story as well. My favourite story of this whole Dakar has been the one about Cesare Zacchetti, which you told the other day, the guy who buried himself in the sand. I spoke to him yesterday. He's given me the pictures and the videos from that night when he had to bury himself in the sand on the 48-hour chrono, and that story is going out on my YouTube highlights show tonight, so make sure you catch it. Quinn, Jesse, thanks again for everything that you do, every single rally raid, every single Dakar. It is so good to listen to you guys every night, and I hope hope your audience, as I'm sure we all do, appreciate the hard work you go to, especially getting up so early in the morning. You guys are legends of the sport, just like some of these guys are as well. It's been an incredible Dakar, an incredibly hard Dakar. Ricky told me it's the hardest he can ever remember. He's going to win, I'm pretty sure. And you guys definitely have won the Dakar podcast race. No doubt about that.
You have a trophy.
Okay, checking out, this is Ashley House from Saudi Arabia. One day left. I tell you what, I am absolutely dead myself. Goodness only knows what the guys might be feeling. Okay, cheers guys, enjoy.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ashley, for that. That's great insight. And I mean, the first time I saw that footage of this guy in the rocks, I'm like, no, I've been there. Like, I've ridden spots where I'm just smoked, you know, whether it's faking my way through a hard enduro again or something, just being like, all I can do is barely move this thing and I'm exhausted.
And some dude comes up and jumps on your bike and rides it up the hill for you.
Yeah, for sure. Just
I think I've had to ride your bike up a hill before.
I have no shame in that. Nope, that's fine. And for the people commenting, you know, there's a couple of people like, oh, that guy can't ride his own bike. Wah, wah, wah. And it's like, listen.
Go ahead.
He's probably been on his bike for 75 hours
of racing.
And honestly, this guy makes that look really easy.
I was going to say, the first thing I thought when I saw that, and I see the co-driver jump out, and I'm like, oh, he's going to push him up the hill or something.
Yeah.
Grabs the bike, and I'm like, oh, no way. Wait, what?
He's actually a very good motorcycle rider.
He must know how to, and then, he just takes off. And so, he's obviously a competitor, and a lot of these car guys are former bike competitors who've transitioned into the car and
gotten smarter.
Yeah.
Gotten into a car. But yeah, eight Dakars on bikes between that driver and co-driver. So just because the guy in the car made it look easy doesn't mean it's easy.
Legendary moment. You're going to see that one on the highlight reel for many years to come.
And kudos to O'Kelly. Like, that guy's out there getting it done.
He's a beast.
Lots of more story. I think we're going to get an interview for tomorrow's show from him, but Irish competitor. There's only been a handful of people from Ireland that have competed, like maybe 10 or 11 total in Dakar history. And I think only 3 or 4 have finished. So like, this is historical moment as well. So very cool. Yeah. Thank you, Ashley. And thank you, O'Kelly, for giving us some info or some entertainment.
Super cool. All right. Well,
now what do you want to talk about, Quinn?
Stage 12. I mean, this is it. This is the finish line.
Yeah. Like you said, 170K to go to the end of this race, and the checkered flag for everybody. And can you imagine the just sense of relief around that checkered flag tomorrow for everybody to feel? I
mean, they still have 326 kilometers to ride total. So reasonably long liaison, and anything can happen, right? These bikes still have to keep running. They gotta make it to the finish line, and But right now, I see, American Ricky Brabec has got this thing pretty well handled. As long as he can ride this last 100 or so miles and follow Ross Branch in, I think he doesn't have a ton to worry about, except for obviously mental error or mechanical.
Yeah, which there's plenty of time for that still. But it's looking good for everybody. I'm excited to see how that second place race shakes out. I think Adrien Van Beveren is hungry and wants second place. I think that other step on the podium is something very valuable to him. And I think Ross is going to have to fight really hard to keep it.
Adrian's going to be running loose and fast tomorrow. And so I think Ross can't just back off and ride it in.
Yeah. Don't put your popcorn away yet, boys and girls. It's a party still.
Ricky in the middle of that. So Adrien, it's a chance Adrian's going to reel in Ricky and
pull him along,
try to catch Ross. So it, Still going to be exciting.
Still, it's a little tense in my shoulders. Not as much as last year. Remember, last year we were going into this race with 17 seconds separating the top 2 competitors. So, and they were teammates.
Yeah.
So they were just like, the whole team was looking at them like, please don't hurt each other or yourselves. We want both of you to finish.
Right.
So great racing today. Great insight from all our contributors. Thank you so much for sending us stuff in.
Yep.
Thanks, Quinn, for showing up again.
Hey, no problem. I made it one more time tomorrow. Just one more day of this.
One more day.
I know my family's happy. This will be over.
Yeah, my family's used to not seeing me now.
Yeah.
They're not going to be happy when I get back. It'll be like, oh, we forgot how big of a pain it was when you were here.
It's easier without you.
It's easier when you're not here in the morning. You're just causing problems.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thanks
Check
to
in
all
tomorrow.
Our sponsors again.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Climb, of course.
Husqvarna Motorcycles.
Yeah, you're getting good at this.
Yeah. Who else we got, Jesse?
You got nervous. You failed.
forgot.
I put the list over here so I can just see
I
it.
can't even see it from here.
I know. I don't want you talking about sponsors. Rally Navigator, thank you so much. Again, we're going to have an extended cut of Jake Argerbright's navigation school overview. We're going to post that on Cycle News's story just by itself. So follow Cycle News's Instagram and social media accounts. We also have Moto Minded for helping us out with chainslayer.com/Dakar. Last day to compete there. Jump in, play Fantasy Dakar. Giant Loop Moto, Fast Company, High Desert Adventures, JimmyLewisOffroad.com. Sign up for a February school. Mention Dakar Rally Daily. Get a special surprise. Nobody knows what it is, but it's special.
Yes.
And
Good work.
Taco Moto Co. and Peak Design. Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Why are the road books all using French abbreviations? And will this change when they go to digital road books?
The use of French abbreviations in Dakar Rally road books is largely due to the rally's origins. The Dakar Rally began in 1978 as the Paris-Dakar Rally, starting in France. French was the primary language of the organizers, hence the use of French abbreviations in the road books. These abbreviations have become standard in rally raid navigation. With the shift towards digital road books, there's a possibility of changes in language and presentation. Digital road books allow for more flexibility in language and can be easily updated or modified. However, it's also likely that French abbreviations might continue to be used due to their established nature in the rally community. The transition might see a blend of traditional and new elements to cater to a diverse array of competitors.
They're never changing. The French will never change.
Just ask AI. Should we ask him why the French will never change?
Yes. Ask him, why will the French never change?
Hey, ChatGPT, why will the French never change? This is why AI
It sounds like you're touching on the idea that certain traditions or practices, like the use of French in the Dakar Rally, tend to persist over time.
They know who you are.
This phenomenon isn't unique to the French. Many cultures and
He's
organizations
like, easy,
have
buddy.
traditions or established
Easy, bro.
things that endure.
It's not a French
In the case
thing.
of the Dakar Rally, the use of French abbreviations is a nod to its history and origins in France.
Yeah, we know.
Cultural and historical practices often continue because they provide a sense of identity and continuity. They can also be seen as a way to honor the past and maintain a connection to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
practical terms,
You should turn him
once a
off now.
system or tradition
He's
is
annoying.
I was going to ask him if the French were stubborn. Maybe that's a better one.
We're sadistic and mean.
This is
When they
why
make a race,
this
they're
is-
just mean.
This is why AI is getting dumber. You have
Is it
people
get-
like us asking it questions.
Well, the robots will take over eventually. We
I
won't
was-
have to do this.
I was really smart when the smart people created me.
Yeah.
Then when they handed me over to the
Normal
to the idiots.
started asking me like, what's a fart made out of? Oh, we're easily entertained.
Yes.
That's our Chat GPT segment for the day. You're welcome. We're going to bring that to you live every day of Dakar Rally Daily for 2024, which is one more day.
Ask AI.
Just Ask AI segment. We need like a exploding
Need to
graphic
send your
with like
questions.
birds chirping. Ask AI. Bling.
Send us your stupid questions.
Yeah, we'll just
So we
ask
can
Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know anything. We're the same as you guys. We don't know much.